Hey guys, just wanted to go ahead and put out this first video, hopefully in a series of videos to come on computer programming, specifically in C++. For those of you that don't have any prior coding experience or knowledge, don't worry, I'm going to try to start at the very basics of programming. Give you a little bit of fundamentals, and then we'll go into actual C++ code and where to start and kind of the, almost C++ for dummies, because I'm by no means an expert. I don't have a degree in computer science or anything like that. It's all self-taught as kind of a hobby. So there's a lot of things that I don't know, and hopefully I'll be able to learn those along the way and fill in the gaps in the videos that come, and it'll be kind of a learning experience for both of us. So with that in mind, let's get started. The first thing you need to know about computer programming is what a computer language is. It's actually exactly what it sounds like. It is a language like French, Spanish, or English. If you go to Paris and you want to be able to talk to the people there, you might want to know French. Same thing with a computer. If you're going to talk to a computer, well, you can't just start talking to it. Even the most advanced AI programs available to the public, something like Siri or Google Now, are still very limited. You have to be very clear in what you want it to do, and even then, it's very limited, and you have to be very precise. And really, what you're getting there, someone had to write with actual computer code. We're not to the point where you can just tell a computer, hey, I need a program that does this, this, and this in plain English, and then it'll just write the code for you. You still have to know the code to talk to the computer to get it to do what you want it to do. It's almost like talking to a toddler, because you have to break it down to the most basic level that you can imagine in most instances, especially low-level programming language like C++, where of course you're going to have a lot of different functions that will make things easier, but you're still going to have to rethink the way that you talk, the way that you would give instructions to anyone. For instance, the example that I like to use a lot of times is making a sandwich. If I was to say, hey, will you go make me a ham sandwich, that would be all the information you probably needed. You figure out where the kitchen is, you know what a pantry looks like, you know what a fridge looks like, and you would just go through the steps of making a sandwich. Well, if I told a computer to make me a sandwich, it might not even know what a sandwich is, let alone know how to make it or what kind I would want. So I would need to say, go to kitchen. Well, it might say, well, what kitchen? Say this kitchen at this coordinate, and be very specific about it. And I wouldn't just be able to say, get some ham and make the ham sandwich. I'd have to say, open the fridge, remove ham, close fridge. Things that you and I take for granted is, well, if you open the fridge, of course you have to close the fridge. A programming language, especially like C++, it needs to be told to close the fridge. It needs to be told what to do with certain memory allocation and things like that. So you have to be very literal and very basic when you're starting to think about how you want to go about coding something. Okay guys, so I went ahead and wrote up our first C++ program up here. It's a traditional hello world program that's just going to output this text to the screen, to the terminal. You can basically ignore these first two lines of code. All they really do is tell the compiler what we're going to be using and including in this function, in this program. The main thing I want you to take away from this first program is the fact that make note of this main function, and know that every single C++ program has a main function and starts at the main function. Now from there you could call any number of other functions inside of main or bounce outside of main, do whatever you need to do, but it will always start executing from main. That is like the starting line for every C++ program. Basically this cout is just a function in C++ that outputs this text, and the end L is for end line, and it brings us to the next line. The system pause isn't really important. It's just because this function is this function right here will happen so quickly on screen and then close out the program that in order for us to see what actually happened, we need to pause it, and this will just wait for us to hit a key before actually finishing out the program and closing the screen. And then this last line here, we have return 0, which just kind of closes out the program. This 0 refers back to this integer, which is the return type of main. That's a little bit more advanced, we'll get into that later, but just know that this kind of finishes out the program and lets it know that everything executed correctly. And then we have the closing curly bracket or brace right there to finish off this main function. That's pretty much it for our very basic Hello World program that we're going to be writing here in a minute. The last thing I wanted to include in this video was that C++ is case sensitive, and what that means is simply something like this written in lowercase would not be the same as something written in uppercase or a combination of. Case sensitive is just exactly what it sounds like. C++ cares what letters are capitalized. If you were to come in here and put this and call it later, it wouldn't understand. If and you were to call it like this, it would think those are two different things and it wouldn't understand what you were referring to. So just remember, like I said, that capitalization or the lack thereof matters a great deal in C++, and there are some conventions for which letter to capitalize in certain names of functions and names of variables. So, and we'll be getting into that in the next video, and when we kind of touch on what the different data types and the different types of functions and all of that. So yeah, let's go to the computer, let's enter this and see if it works, and thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so we're going to go into Visual Studio and create a new C++ empty project. Just call it Hello World here. And it's creating our solution folders. Sorry about the quality here. Still working out the bugs with the screen capture software, but we're going to create a new item, and it'll be a C++ file, and we're going to call that main. And then just like we did on the board, we're going to do hashtag include less than sign iostream greater than, then using namespace standard, then integer main, open curly, then as I said earlier, we're going to do the C out, two less than signs, quotation marks, hello world, close quotation marks, and then we're going to do another two less than signs, and then inline, and then semicolon, and then return 0, and then semicolon again, and then closing curly bracket, and we'll run it. Compiling, and it actually succeeded, but it ran so quickly that we couldn't really see anything. So to get the terminal to wait for our command to close, we're going to use a little we're going to use system pause. It's just a function that just waits for you to hit a key to close the program, just so we can kind of see what happened. And there we go, hello world. Press any key to continue, and we'll do that, and it'll close our program, and it's that simple, guys. Thank you for watching.